Hey everyone, it's Jay from Lords of War with a little bonus video today. As you know, or I've talked about with Chris, that I was working on an Old World Chaos Army, and Old World videos get views, so I figured I would do a little army showcase diary, whatever you want to call it, on with my potato camera phone. And anyway, so I'm just going to go through. I know you can't see quite all of it in the frame here, but I'll go over it kind of unit by unit, kind of where I've gone, and some more plans for the project as I go. The good thing is I've kind of like most of the core items that I want, and then just going to add a few other things. I've got a chariot that I'm waiting. I need a base for, which I think is coming in the mail from GW, because I think it's on a 30 by 60 now, just like a new size. And I'd probably will do more dogs. I'll probably do definitely another unit of Marauder horsemen. I will do, I don't know, maybe a dragon later. Haven't decided. Maybe some chosen guys. I was thinking of using Ogoroid, or whatever they're called, the Therodons, as some sort of chaos ogres or something. So, you know, that'll probably be like a phase 2 thing, you know, maybe later in the year. Hopefully I can play a few more games. That's a challenge. I think I've commented before, that is with the hobby store and the hours I spend here, getting games, personal, like just games in my free time is not easy. I have kind of one night that I'm getting games, one night a week that I get games with my friends, and that's already like kind of in the calendar for the fan that the family knows about. And then if I want to get a second or more games in a week, then now you're kind of like, now I got to tell my kids, or my older son who's 7, I could be like, yeah, Dad's gonna play more Warhammer this week instead of spending time with you. So that's the challenge. It's one of those things that I wouldn't mind playing a bit more, but right now, with the way the how the age of the kids and how busy things are at home, you know, it's a bit of an ask. So I'm hoping, you know, here and there to kind of get a few more games in. But anyway, that's the boring part. So let's get into it. So we're gonna start, I guess, with some heroes. I've got a few here. Some are kind of like just whatever. All right, I'm back. So I have this sorcerer model that I made out of the Lord on Manticore. This guy. So it's one of those kits from the era where they sometimes they gave you multiple riders. So that worked out really well. And the horse, actually this model's not fully done yet, almost done. Let's see if I can get this in a better spot. There you go. And it's the Dark Oath Chieftain horse, which I was happy to see. Did not have, it's like it just had a saddle, and the guy's legs weren't like fused to the horse body, so that was great. And the long flowy cloak or cape or whatever somehow didn't cause a problem either, so I was happy with that. And yeah, so there's going to be my mounted sorcerer. Come over here. The guy that everyone asks me questions about is this guy. This is the Warcry, what is he called? Centurion or something. He's like a Chaos Centaur guy with 4 arms for some reason. Yeah, he looks like a gladiator centaur guy. He has a net and a spear. Anyway, I've been wanting to paint this, or having an excuse to paint this model for ages, since he came out, probably whatever that was, 3 years ago or 2 years ago. And I was like, he could be. I'm using him as it's basically a Chaos Lord on horse. Because why not? It looks ridiculous on this little cavalry base. So he's gonna forever be on the corner of a unit, facing away from what he's fighting, I guess. But that's okay. Doesn't matter. And yeah, actually really fun to paint. So I kind of couldn't stop painting him. Kind of one of those things I can put it down. So keep using him for that. I guess suppose you could also be like Lord on Demonic Mount too. Then we have the Cast Lord Manticore kit that I got the sorcerer from. This was me trying not to just go straight to Chaos Lord on Dragon. So one of the guys was like, you know, take a guy on Manticore. It's like a little bit less, what's the word? Oppressive. And he's also painted in the like kind of bluish gray colors. So just, yeah, mostly I think this, actually every model I'm showing you has been hand brushed. So I just didn't airbrush this at all. Just kind of hand bombed on a bunch of color and used some shades and washes. Did the winter scheme on the army. It's Chaos Warriors of Chaos, gotta be winter scheme, right? Yeah, another nice mini to paint and fun to play with. Yeah, don't mind that. We'll see if I go all the way to Dragon. Then we've got the so everyone's like, what are these guys? They're not Chaos Warhounds. Yeah, they're just what are they called? Vampire Counts or Soulblight Gravelord Direwolves. Because at the time when I needed them, their GW had not released the or reboxed the plastic Chaos Hounds. They like took them off their website to rebox them in boxes of 20, which I would actually love to have because I need more than these 10. I use them in just little units, but yeah, quick little thing. I think I did like a black prime and then like a gray prime on, like dusted the top, and then again it's just contrast paints and dry brushes and things like that. Just they're very minimal. A bit of red because they have like some parts of them that are falling apart, I guess. What do you call it? Decomposing. Then we have Marauder Horseman made out of the Dark Oath Felrider kit, which is no-brainer. Beautiful minis. Yeah, again, my goal here is to paint this quick and dirty, so tons of contrast paint. Used a lot of, and dry brushing, used a lot of Rattling Grime and Agros Dunes and a bit of Gork colors like that. I used some Speed Paint Crusader Skin. And the metallics, actually a lot of this bronzy metallic-y thing is silver that's been hit with Agros Dunes. I found I liked that, the color that made. Yeah, and I need more. I'm going to do another unit of 5 because I think they look great and they have cool rules. They're great in the game. Gotta have your chaff units. Then we got this big brick of guys that I use as Marauders. I still need to devise some sort of command group for them because the Games Workshop kits don't, well, especially these guys don't have command because they're a Warcry kit that I bought 3 times over because they're coming a unit of 8. And I was like, I can make a unit of, you know, a 24 block kind of thing. Very cool model. It's really fun to paint. I don't know what I'm going to do for command. The Games Workshop doesn't really sell extra banners and horns or drums in their model kits anymore. So you kind of have to, I don't know, print something, find something, scrounge, ask everyone that comes in, hey, do you have an extra flag? And I think a lot of other people are also, they're just hoarding their flags. They're like, no, you can't have my flag, sorry. That's okay. I will figure something out in the meantime. And also, yeah, they have to rank up a certain way or it's not really working because these guys are big. They probably should be on the Chaos Warrior 30 mil, but they're Marauders, they're humans, so they're on just 25s, which is already an up, not really an upgrade. They were on 25s before, so who knows what I'll do about that. We got good old Hell Cannon coming up. This was another one of these items that I procured that was like, oh, I guess I have to do this now. One of the customers gave it to me. He's like, I have 2, and it is metal. So I'm not going to test that for you. In pretty good condition. It came in a baggie. It is missing there's like a plate here. There are some chains that I just did not stick on, and I think there's supposed to be a chaos symbol that like goes on it's like a wheel cover that covers all the beautiful gears. Yeah, and I don't have crew, but that's okay. I will scrounge some crew. I'm just debating on using. It's kind of the least of my priority right now. I'm debating on using there's that Castdwarf Blood Bowl team that came out, and I was like, oh, I could use some of those hobgoblins and some of the dwarves in there. Yep, so this was a lot painted in a lot of that metal, just sprayed metal, Agros Dunes, Army Painter, Dark Tone and Strong Tone, which are just brilliant paints. They're really great washes. I did, base coated all the skulls and bone with like a wraith bone color, and then just used a bunch of contrast paint and Fugan orange and stuff for the glowy stuff, and the dark tones seeped in really nicely to give more fidelity to the skulls there, so you can see them a little bit better. There you go. Yeah, it's a cool mini. Lackluster in the game. It missed every shot, so that was unfortunate, but that's life. And we'll get to the unit that started it all. So these models I painted like 5 years ago, or whenever they came out. These are the newer modern Chaos Warriors that came in something called the Start Collecting box that I wish we still had. Start Collecting was Games Workshop's first kind of like probably the best bundle products they ever made. They were at the time $100. They were all $100 for the 40k ones and the AOS ones, and they had like 3 kits in them plus a hero. It was a bit like the current Combat Patrol and Vanguard or Spearhead box, but with like one less thing, but also like way cheaper. And so the box had 10 of these. It had a guy on Kakadrak, like a Chaos Lord, and on a mount, and 5 Chaos Knights, and they were all brand new minis. So that was great. So I was happy to get that, and so I snatched 2 of those at the time, and I quickly did the Warriors up there. These are like push fit models actually. So their poses, there's like a few repeating poses, and there's no command. Kind of basic because they didn't need the command in Age of Sigmar at the time. They've kind of since brought back command, and they give them some little rules. Painted in, I did them in the kind of Slaneshi colors. So this kind of dictated everything else that would happen with the rest of this project. So I was like, well, I already have these done, so I'm going to continue that. And they were fun to paint. They look great. So the purple, the main purple color is derived from Scale 75 makes a range of paint called Smooth Artist or something. They come in tubes. They're like these tube kind of like think of like traditional canvas painting, but they make them in tubes. And the paint is still super high quality, and like your other miniature paints. They have a color called Dark Violet, which is this like abyssal dark violet color, which is awesome. It's like probably you can see it like kind of that's the color, and you can add things like ice yellow or other yellow tones to it and build it up to the kind of brighter violet color. And so I was able to kind of airbrush the gradient and then make liberal use of Druchii violets to kind of blend it together. The fur I think is, oh man, I can't remember, Raykarth flesh. No, maybe it's not Raykarth. Brown rose is a color I use often. It's found in different color ranges, Vallejo, AK, etc. And then it's like just been washed in Reichland flesh shade kind of thing. And then the gold is, I think it's literally like Liberator or Retributor and Liberator kind of thing. So, yep, got those done. I just transferred them from their circles to those squares. And we have the big bust of knights, because of course, and I did these. This was more recent. Everything else but the Warriors was done since middle of August. So it's been kind of, that's all I've been doing is painting these guys. And so I had to kind of like re-remember what the heck I was doing and how to do it. So with the purple and stuff, I literally was like, did I use the dark violet? I don't know. So these are so I did have to buy an extra box of knights to get command. So I got a flag, and there's a musician in here somewhere. There he is. And where's I guess this guy's technically like the champ right here. Using the newer, bigger knights, even on the 30x60s, which is the new base cavalry size, they're still very difficult to rank up. I think this is the only way I can make them work. I probably could have been a bit better. I was trying to move some further up for the front rank, like these Lance guys. Like you can kind of like shift them around before you glue them in, but you probably have to build them all and then methodically like put them in the right spots, and then they're still going to be in those spots forever, I guess. You can see like this guy's further back, and this corner guy with the little mace that increasingly is getting smaller every game because it keeps breaking and I have to keep repinning it. And like this mace, the chain on this mace was like 3 times as long. He's just got this little flag that I snatched from someone, from one of my customers who was generous to give it to me, and it's just kind of wedged in between his arm, and he's the BSB, which is a little, womp womp, but that's fine. That's for the purpose of gaming. It's great. And the silver, if you're curious, is a recipe I've been using since I did my cities army, and it has to do with Vallejo metallics. Like, they come in big jars. It's just called Vallejo metals, and there's a chrome color, so that's the brightest tone. And then I use AK natural steel as like a mid-tone, and then I use Vallejo dark gunmetal from the newer Vallejo game color range as the darkest tone, and then I do liberal use of black, thinned down black paint, and colors like strong tone, or dark tone, sorry, which is their version of null oil. I like it. It's just a little more viscous, it's a little thicker, and it kind of sits where I want. That little bit of extra opacity, I don't know. It just, for me, it worked out better. Same with the shields. You get this kind of two-tone thing going on here. So yeah. Anyway, so I use them as whatever I want. Sometimes they're chosen knights, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're used in all 10, sometimes smaller. So after getting absolutely spanked by the Pegasus plus Hero Bretonnian unit of Doom that was very strong, I was like, well, I looked at my book and I was like, I kind of want a rematch, because even if I lose that game, that's fine. But I figured this unit with all the heroes can also do some tremendous damage, and I kind of wanted to just get the visual experience of what that might be like. But that's why I want to add more stuff to the army, so they have some more builds and options. And so anyway, that's the army. Tell me what you think. What I should add. I know everyone's going to tell me to add dragon ogres, which is probably a thing. And look forward to actually playing some more games and giving some more feedback. So anyway, thanks for your time. I hope you like that. If you have any questions about the army or more questions about painting, please ask. And see you next time. Bye.